So this video is for Dean Cousy, one of our members of the Fly Fishing Competition League here in Alberta. Dean had asked me about spinning rabbit hair in a dubbing loop, so I'm just going to build a basic leech pattern here for you, Dean, and basically what I'm doing is running a 6/0 nano silk. And I'll just start it behind this hook here, which is a BL 724 1X strong in a size 8, and we'll just start there, and I'll add a tail of marabou. You can add rabbit or whichever you prefer, but I'll just run marabou here because I have some out. Actually, I'll just take out some marabou here. It's just an olive, a golden olive. And I'll try to run it 1.5 times the length of the hook shank. So roughly about there. And we'll just trim off the ends. And strip the marabou fibers, the barbules, off the cut ends, and we'll add that to the hook. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. The rabbit, spun rabbit, you can run a dubbing loop, and I'll just start a small dubbing loop here. Go around twice, that locks and secures it, and you have your dubbing loop built. There's a couple of different tools that you can use. You can use just a manual rotating tool. That is just a hook system like this. Or you can use an automatic system that Hands-On Clinkin introduced me to. Basically, this is just a coffee frother from IKEA, and I've taken the frother off, cut the end, the frother off, then I've rounded out the point before I built the hook, and either one works. This is about a $4.95 little tool, and it spins hair very quickly, and other materials. I mean, when you're working with dubbing loops, either this loop style or a split thread, there's a lot of different ways that you can apply it. But anyways, so what I have, you can run rabbit fur off a skin and pull it into your clip, your Bulldog clip, or you can just buy pre-cut strips, which I prefer because they're just a little easier to work with, and it's easier to determine length. So I've kind of wet this material. Just keep it sort of straight, 90-degree angle to the skin, and then I'll take my Bulldog clip and pick the length that I want to use of the hair. And if I'm about there, I mean, you can go all the way to the bottom, but you can also just pick whatever length you wish. Hold it tight, hold the Bulldog clip closed tight, and then just cut with a long pair of scissors just below the clip. This then, to prepare it, I'll take the dubbing loop and I'll run a bead of head cement down the loop before I apply the hair, or hackle, or other materials, whichever you choose. But in this case, with the rabbit hair, I'll just apply this into the loop. Oops. and then I have my hair in the loop. in that fashion. So now it's just a matter of spinning the dubbing tool to get the hair to spin outward from the thread. Don't worry about it balling up, because you can just brush that out. I just tighten it up until it's good and tight. Then I'll take a dubbing brush and just lightly brush out the hair a little bit. And as you can see, it just fluffs up nice. And continue to spin. And that'll give me a nice tight rope. So once you feel your rope's tight enough, I usually look at it here because it looks somewhat corded or braided. And before I apply it, I'll just again lay down a base of head cement on the base layer of thread that we've put on the hook shank. Advance my thread, and now start my wraps. But I pull my hair to the back with each wrap. And you can do tight wraps, or you can just open the turns up, almost like a palmering effect. And just brush it back with each stroke or each wrap. And we'll come around that and lock it down. And that's the first part of this pattern. So now I'll do it again. This time I'll run a split thread loop for the collared section of the pattern. And what I'll do this time is I will take not only the olive rabbit, but I'm going to take some orange rabbit like this. I'll lay the two beside each other, tips roughly matching. And again, I'll select the length that I want of the hair to be in the Bulldog clip. So we match that, and now I'll just take with a pair of long scissors, a cut below the Bulldog clip. So we have our hairs in that fashion, and now I'll split my thread. And again, add some head cement to the thread, let it run down. It's a bit of a bead down the thread. So I have both sides of the loop now with a coat of head cement on it. And again, apply the Bulldog clip with the hair. So we have the hair in place, and if you need to space it out a little bit, you can do that. And then I'll spin my bobbin. And release it, and it spins my hair. Give it a few more turns, make sure it's good and tight, nicely roped. And again, take my dubbing brush, brush it out. And now I have a blend of olive rabbit and orange rabbit for the transition into the bead. I kind of like that. I mean, I do this often. The colors are absolutely endless. There's so many different colors of rabbit strips out in the market. And I think it has just a nice transition going from olive into the orange. Keep that tight, and I'll add a small amount of dubbing, the Spectra dub in behind the bead. And then tighten and whip finish. 2-3 knot whip finishes in behind the bead. Pull it good and tight so it sinks well into the bead and onto the hook shank. And you can do that with this 6/0 because it's such a strong thread. And we'll cut away the thread. And again, brush out the Spectra dubbing, and it'll have a tendency to trail in behind the pattern or along the shoulders of the pattern into the body. And that's basically how I mess with, play with rabbit hair. There's so many colors. Black-red is another great color combination if you want to do this technique. It's just very versatile and it works extremely well. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.